After all those heady numbers of AMRs are bought, sold, and shipped, and then when the robots themselves step off the gangplanks to go to work, where the hell do they go? Join us in the Lehigh Valley, south of Chicago, and in LA for a look at the fantastic cavernous halls of commerce and a story that we call Where the Robots Roam. Demand for warehouse space is red hot right now. The U.S. will need ever more warehouses dedicated to online fulfillment by 2025. The primary driver is an acceleration in e-commerce sales, due in part to the pandemic. The expectation for e-commerce in the U.S. is that it will expand by 26% of total retail sales by 2025. So what the heck is 26% of what? Statistica forecasts that the retail sales in the U.S. in 2025 will be, get ready for this one, $5.3 trillion. The fantastic cavernous halls of commerce, where the robots roam, are growing fast and getting ready for that $1.5 trillion payday.
The U.S. will need 1 billion square feet of new industrial space by 2025 to keep up with demand. That estimate doesn't account for all the warehouses that have already hit the market in the last year.
There are over 11,000 warehouses in North America, totaling over 4.7 billion square feet, with an additional 190 million square feet currently on the build.
And investors are noticing.
The last 12 months have seen the most growth in our industry, say from a square footage, new requirement perspective, than ever in the history of the industry.
That expansion is shifting local economies where these commercial industrial real estate markets are particularly red hot.
One of the hottest is Pennsylvania's Lehigh Valley, with 25.2 million square feet being built, of which 45% is already leased.
But warehouses support the online shopping boom and the push for faster deliveries.
Consumer expectations. Our expectations are not going down by any means. That's where the demand from warehouses is coming from.
And the industry is effectively sold out through the end of next year.
Even if you want space tomorrow, there's a shortage of it.
This isn't just happening in the Lehigh Valley. It's also a broader U.S. story, like in Chicago and Southern California.
12 of the last 14 buildings that we have built in Southern California were 100% leased before they were finished. That's how strong demand is.
Interestingly, e-commerce demands 3 times the space of standard warehouses.
Why does e-commerce require 3 times the space? So there's a lot of requirements, to say nothing of the inventory breadth and depth that's required, right? Your average big box store might have 25,000 products, SKUs, stock keeping unit SKUs, and your online stores are millions. There's product variety, direct to consumer, reverse logistics, and each is picking that all take all that extra space.
Warehousing demand is also driven by retailers securing more storage space to mitigate the impact of future supply chain shocks.
Historically, supply chains were tuned for efficiency, not resiliency, kind of just in time versus just in case. And so we are just now starting, I'd say in the last 90, maybe 180 days, seeing customers who are starting to come into the market and lease space to satiate this just-in-case type of demand.
Is that not a shock after years and years of hearing just-in-time, J-I-T, JIT, just-in-time, for decades now? Now everything is just in case. E-commerce has shaken up everything. The supply and demand imbalance is more significant than I have ever seen, said Robert Thornburg, the chief executive of the Society of Industrial and Office Realtors. There is limited inventory of industrial space, he says. It is almost evaporating before our eyes, if you're even lucky enough to know about it. Atlanta, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and the Lehigh Valley had the most industrial space under construction in the fourth quarter of 2021, and the national vacancy rate fell to 3.2%, according to a study from CBRE Group. Rents rose 11% in the quarter, setting a record, the study showed. And that, dear friends, is where the robots roam.